Today, we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right. Here's the former Auburn kicker, Daniel Carlson, to get this one started. And we are underway in Southern California. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Ready. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing for that.
Stick from the gun. Allen's got it complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now Stick. He's got Allen. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
For that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that. But you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
23 yards, the final tally. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
On the double. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Stick.
On 3rd down, it's Stick. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting him score a touchdown versus holding him to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. They will run the draw with Jacobs. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Mayfield on play action. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 51 yards. Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Charger drive about to get going. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across mid. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. You know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Charger drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 58 yards. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep open. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders have retaken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives to see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down the field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Myles Garrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means...
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Badgley now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like it.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Now, we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So, sometimes you talk to me about trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Here's Jacobs. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Mayfield down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. Now Mayfield on third and goal. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The former third-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Chargers take over first and 10.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
218, chop.
Running right. It's a handoff to Gordon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let them get to the second level.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. First down, and they stick with Eckler. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. They run it here with Gordon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
1st and 10 at the 20.
Here's Stick on 1st and 10. And he's got it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They run the counter. Richard, and he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mayfield. He's going to loft one. Deep left. And got his man. Complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
3rd and 3.
I'm here all day. Let's go.
3rd down, they'll throw with Stick. On the move to his left. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Stick looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, Steve Stick. Like,
they'll throw on 2nd down as Stick. And the pressure gets to him again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Stick, 3rd and long. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job.
On the set. 50. And what's that? Hey, what's the ball? 80 weapon. Rush in.
Back to the ground now with Gordon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Back. Ready.
Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. It's a screen to Richard. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Mayfield to throw it. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Hey, I want to work.
First down, Raiders.
Mayfield on first down. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Nick Bosa. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Richard on the toss. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
He's going to float this over the middle, deep, and that will be incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's A.J. Cole now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10 on the starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's Stick looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Jacobs. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there? Finally
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Another try after the first down sack. Stick. And he's going to go down again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
So make some room next to Tom Dempsey on the NFL's all-time field goal distance leaderboard. That's going to go down officially as a 63-yarder.
Let's not forget about David Akers, Jason Elam, and Sebastian Janikowski, too. So now Matt Prater at 64 has got a little bit of company up near the top spot. That was one heck of a kick right there.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Stick back to pass. Got his man. It's Williams. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. And this will be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd down and goal. Stick. Rolling to his left. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Taking it in from a yard out as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 23 yards for the touchdown as they have taken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Hey, alert! 58, Mike. Chopper!
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield, and he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make the big play and disrupt things.
Now he's forced out right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. 1st and 10, Stick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Here we go.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Stick. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 40. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Once more, here's Eckler. Got some room at the 30, fighting his way through contact. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 63 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Watch the ship. Under 10.
Here's Gordon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Here's Jackson, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. They'll try the ground game with Jackson, and he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. To throw again on second down. Mayfield. That's caught by Waller out left side. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Let's go, D.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. He's got this complete to Marcel Aitman. 23 yards on the play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Escaping the pressure right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. Does the big boy have the juice? The 30. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
A lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now Gordon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Flush to his right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, there's a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed. And a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis.